Good evening and welcome back to the channel. My name is Man, I'm your host, and welcome back to another episode of Stateside Blues with Tarek, Raja, Ed, and Vader, who's just gone to change his shirt because he wouldn't have the same shirt as Ed. You know, mute.
Ed was looking too good in the shirt. I was like, let me not compete with Ed right now and let me change. That's all.
Wow. Good evening, Dash. How are you, mate? I hope you are well. Forget Rodrigo Savio, laugh at the shithole name Man United. Yeah, they've just been talking about that off air, mate. Apparently, Grimsby Town had literally had 3 or 4 of their main stars not even a squad and they still beat United. Good evening, Lee Gates. How are you, mate? I hope you are well. I think I'm laughing at the rags. At least we had light relief tonight. Big up, Man United raindrops keep falling on their head. Blue Heart, how are you, mate? Oh, Amber, you know what? I've had so many people message me about Amber and going, you still want him? I'm like, Christ alive. The Unbelief, big up, guys. Justice for Grimsby. Joshua, the Reds are going down. Connor, guys, we got Huddersfield Town. Yes, we have got Huddersfield Town in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup. Away. No, home, away. When the boat comes into Grimsby, they had fishy on a little disher. Oh, dear. Saeed done a meltdown video. The Swamp was its name. Guys, what do you think it was getting Huddersfield away? We'll ask that in a minute. Can't wait for this win to shut and focus on football. This is about right. Bit of housekeeping. I'm going to get it out the way. I might as well. I've already had 15 emails about this. Me and Daps have spoken. Me and Daps are fine. Yes, it got heated earlier on. It's sorted. We've spoken to each other privately. It is done. It is finished. I will be on the South Stand tomorrow morning. Done, dusted.
Wait.
Those who were there know what went on. Those who don't, it's been deleted now. Move on.
I don't know what went on.
You don't need to know. It's just
I don't need to know. Okay.
Ed knows exactly what I mean because he's nodding away. One thing I will say, some people in the comments made themselves pretty well known. Don't bother coming into my spaces later on tonight, boys. Because you've now been...
It's been crazy out here, man. It's been crazy out here.
Yes. Anyway, Ornstein on the podcast said his field donor is joining Sitter. You need somebody else to piss off before even that anyone gets near where we're going. Right, I know LB's live as well, but, you know, we'll see. Right, gentlemen, let's get into it. Where do you want to start? Huddersfield, Tottenham, transfers. It's your show. You lead the way. Go wherever you want to go.
Well, I think before we talk about the future, we should talk about the past. We should address the Spurs game. We really should be addressing it. I'm gonna start with the starting 11. The starting 11 and the bench. I was calm with it. I was chill with it. I actually saw that 11. I was like, you know what? The allegations of Pep not having a burner, he's bringing those allegations back up, because to a man, it looked like that was, you guys been saying, here's who I got to play. You guys telling me I shouldn't be playing the unks. You guys tell me play all the new players, all the new signings. Well, with the exception of Rico Lewis, maybe at right back, the fans got exactly what they wanted. I don't think there's a player on there that they would have said shouldn't have started or would have preferred to see. You got Shirky, you got Reinders, you got Nico Gonzalez, you got Marmoush to play up there with Holland. You got Oscar Bob. We had it all, right? Nori as well. Unfortunate that he got injured. Let me not do anything with regards to that. But the starting 11 that everybody was hammering for, everybody was questioning. Pep's too old. He's done. He's been figured out. He's showing too much loyalty. You can't say that about week 2 versus Spurs. Now, I hope that we kind of relax a little bit, and I hope we recognize that the manager needs to find the right balance. Because one thing that became really, really apparent to me, and I'm not going to hog this microphone, what became really apparent to me is that when you got new players, not only coming to City, but new players coming to the Prem, there's an adjustment. Yes, you can have a good game, but the consistency, that's not a regularity. That's something that's going to have to be worked in. And I think Shirky was surprised by the pace of the game for how Spurs were playing us. I think Reinders didn't show the same consistency from week 1, week 2, because he had a clear open chance to where we would have been like, oh, he's taking that shot. He decided to pass it. We had Marmoush getting a start where Holland's probably talking to him in the locker room being like, Marmoush, you owe me one, man. I gave you one on a plate. That I want you need to score those. So a lot of the players that have been asked and demanded for from the Club World Cup played. And I'm not saying that we give up on these players. I'm saying, like, let's all relax a little bit. Let's understand that we need some balance. And when I say we need balance, we do need some veteranship. We do need players that have been there before, players that'll calm things down. I remember Kosinov. And again, some of the fan base said Kosinov needs to start at right back. Let's relax for a little bit. We know the manager sees these guys on a training pitch, and he makes these decisions for a reason. When Kosinov had his debut, which was a crazy one, and I'm not holding him for it. I'm not going to label him based off how he looked versus Chelsea for the rest of his career. But things calmed down when Pep had Bernardo Silva slide in and do a double pivot and hold his hand a little bit. We need experience, and we need youth, and we need legs. We need all of that, but it's got to be the right combination. The defeat to Spurs was self-inflicted, but in addition to that, credit to Spurs, credit to Thomas Frank, because from a game plan, their midfield were relentless. I'm speaking way too much because we'll go back and forth, but they had a right game plan. We got sucker punched in a way. We got sucker punched with that second goal. So I'll let you guys speak and get back into it. But what did you guys think of the starting 11? What did you think of the start of the game?
I mean, I personally, I think most fans at least would have saw that and thought, all right, here we go. This is what we've all been asking for. And at least that's how I felt. I mean, there's obviously going to be a couple players here and there, like maybe you want Foden to start or maybe you want to see Rodri back in. But for given how we played first game and people were a little upset with Bernardo starting, even though he played pretty well, I feel like people would have generally really excited for the lineup. And it just makes me at least think the Wolves game was great. Yes, 4-0, awesome. However, it really wasn't maybe as high of a high as we were saying it was. And in a similar way, this 2-0 against Spurs is not as low of a low as many people are panicking as well. We got to be able to realize it's never as good as it is and realize it's never as bad as we think it maybe is. Like, City had multiple chances. We could have gone ahead early in the Spurs game. I thought Marmoush had 2, Haaland had 2. Bernardo's header across, I thought, should have been a little better for Haaland's tap in. Rodri had the header that went right at Vicario. I mean, the goal we gave away is self-inflicted. John Stones slips. Like, a couple things go differently, and the game is a different game. So I Nori's injury as well, you know, and I don't know. I am not going to sit here and overreact that we got played off the park when I don't really think, based on watching it and then rewatching it, that's what happened. The game is a game of inches, like they all are, and it wasn't for us that day. But that's my take at least.
Oh, you better go.
No, go. You got it.
No, for me, like I said this on a different stream. It felt like, since we on United States stream, you know, like Mike Tyson said, man, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. And that's what it felt like. From the opening minute, it felt like the press, they were just on top of us. We were playing deep. Kind of felt like from the beginning, I can say we kind of started okay. I'll say the first 10, 15 minutes we were okay.
Yeah.
But after that, it just felt like a tsunami, and everybody had a bad game, from the keeper to the striker. Passes were off. Simple passes were off. Touch was off. Running out of bounds. We got 3 coaches up on the sideline. It was just it was just a shit show. And, you know, I'm not gonna go overboard about it. It's just one game, but I need a response. You can't come out in the summertime talking about we're together.
Yeah.
We trying to do this, we trying to do that. And the minute you hit adversity, I need a response.
That's fair.
Yeah, the pace of the match, or felt like the newer players needed a little bit of time to just get up to speed with the league and whatever else. And you shouldn't matter because we already played a match, but it just felt like we were a step slow. You talked about how so many of our passes were just off, simple, not even hard passes, you know, long, deep line breaking, but just basic, short passes that we'd play in rondos all day, every day. So it was really weird to see. In the analogy that I would use, I grew up playing basketball, and whenever we would go to the gym, I had a lot of friends that would go lift. I never wanted to lift. I just wanted to go shoot. But when I did go lift, if I went and lifted for a long time and then I went to go right to the court, it took you a minute to get to dial your shot in, because it was just, and it felt like they just weren't dialed in. I don't know what happened during the week, but it just like they needed some time to dial it in, and we didn't get any time at all because they were right on top of us. They pressed us really hard, and just the physical nature of it. And anybody that makes that switch from a different league into the Premier League has to get up to speed with that. If I remember one of the first times we saw Nico G, he was getting pressured, swamped, lost the ball, went down. He ended up getting hurt. But that's one of the vivid memories that I have from like his first appearance. And I felt like that's how all of our new players looked yesterday or the other day. So I definitely agree with everyone that said it's one game. I tried not to get too high after the Wolves match. I won't get too low after this match. And I just think that with time, we're going to be okay. But I agree with everyone that says you want to see a response. You want to see these guys, because Reinders looked great that first match. not so great this second match. So not even that he was bad. It was just, again, the whole team was bad, so everybody looked bad. But I fully expect to see us be better. I hope that you mentioned Rodri. I personally, well, if he's going to go play for Spain, then yeah, go ahead and play him. But I would rather he just wait until after the international break, just to make sure he's completely healthy. But I fully expect us to come back and inflict a little bit of pain on Brighton. And I don't know, Baleba went out, so if he's not available, that definitely takes some of the physicalness out of their midfield.
No, Tariq, he was just that bad.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. He's just like, get him off the pitch. But if his head's not in it because he wants to go someplace else, maybe they sell him before we play. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that's just wishful thinking.
Like, the physicality of the game, it's going to depend based off of opponent. And one thing that I was obviously hearing a lot that were our fans, like our club fans as well as rivals, talking about, well, is that the formula? Like, can other teams expect to have joy to look to press us? I would invite that. I think you caught us with Trafford not quite up to speed, with maybe that being a continued aspect of the game, right? It happens in spurts, but he was pressed all the time. And again, when you surrender a goal just going into the half, then obviously you're going to get pressed again, because you can just hear the players in the locker room, the manager saying, we're going to keep that up for the rest of the game, keep them uncomfortable. But I think we've seen mistakes from Ortega. We've seen mistakes from Ederson. Like, when a lot of the fan base are saying, like, play the young guys, we should all be prepared to have moments like these. And we shouldn't hold it over any of the players' heads to be like they're going to continue to do it, because they're going to learn from it, just like the previous players that I mentioned. But Trafford is going to have those growing pains. He's going to realize the right angle to make that pass, if the pass is there, when not to make that pass because it's maybe being baited to lure him into making it, and when to send it long. So I'm not going to crash it on him. He did give up that second goal, which definitely changed the game. But we also have to take into account, like, we did not have our shooting boots. We did not have our shooting boots in that game. And that's the thing that probably concerns me most when I think about how this season is going to go. Because I'm like, if we're going to have questions with our defense, okay. If we're going to be susceptible to the counter, okay. But let's go out and let's blitz these guys from an attacking standpoint. Let them always have to worry about Haaland. Like, they don't want Haaland to touch the ball, because if he touches the ball, 12 touches, there's going to be a goal there. Like, I want that to be the emphasis. And unfortunately, I don't think we were that cutthroat enough from an attacking standpoint.
I don't think we were consistent enough with the ball to be cutthroat.
Fair.
We kept giving the ball away. We couldn't really maintain possession. We couldn't beat their high press like we normally do, which then makes teams back off. They felt they could continue to press us because they were having joy with it. We just have to be better. To your point about Trafford, no, I'm not going to kill the kid. I think, he'll understand that there are times when you have to just play it long, and that would have been the better choice there, as opposed to, well, I'm just going to trust. But I do think, and this is what I've said in every other stream that I've been on, I think there is a case where all of the conversation about if Donnarumma is coming or not says to this kid, I have to go out and prove that I deserve to keep the number one spot. And so maybe you press a little, you're trying to do too much. Instead of just letting the game come to you and just whatever, you're trying to do a little too much. And then that's when you make that mistake and it bites you in the butt. Again, mistakes happen. Everyone's going to make them. Young player, old player, everybody in between. So, we just have to be okay with it and live with it as they get the experience that they need and play their way through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I think all of you said that quite spot on. I think I've said it some blue in the face. Beta comments stand out like Billy. I won't beg for the youth and the inexperience and the quickness. Well, you got the youngest team in 15 years. It showed. Like they were the youngest team ever to walk out with 15 years. Just because they're young doesn't mean they're ready. That's the difference.
Martin, as you say that, I need to get this off my chest because when
you see him jump, then he jumped like he was ready.
No, because you said play the youngsters. If I hear our fan base make reference to rivals and how they're playing the youth, let's put some things into context, please. Let's put that into context. If everybody wants to praise and say, oh, look at the bravery, look at the manager over at Liverpool playing the youth, he put the kid in the 90+ minute. He didn't play him to start the game. He didn't play him in the second half. He played him as, you know what? Let me throw you on. It's the kitchen sink. Let's go after this.
It wasn't Oscar Bob coming on in the 85th minute to grab a winner. It was Oscar Bob. And by the way, I love Oscar. Oscar Bob's my example.
Yeah,
I love Oscar Bob. I'm not saying he's bad.
No, not at all. But when they want to crash it on my manager and say he's too stubborn, he's not brave enough, he's run out of ideas, and then they want to reference the rival managers and they want to
Peter, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I gotta mention this because when Pep put on Echeverry in the FA Cup, people were calling him a prick
because he played him so late in the game, right?
And over Grealish, I think.
Well, also because he came in over Grealish. I think that was the bigger piece.
So which one?
You can't win. That's just it. You can't win. You can't win. Like they're gonna find the narrative. They're gonna find those triggering points, those pressure points, those jabs, those little stabs, because they've lost confidence. They've lost faith in the manager. But I was like, what are we doing here? How is a Manchester City fan base talking about? Oh, look at what the Liverpool manager did, throwing in the youngster. He threw him in the 90th, guys. Like let's put some things into the right context. And also let's also recognize when there's a game in control and there's a game that's maybe lost and okay, the game's kind of put out of hand, you've thrown the towel and now you're going to play the youth. There's context. Like let's just chill. I'm not losing my mind after weeks. Go ahead, Tariq.
Well, I guess I'm going to play devil's advocate, which I don't like to do, but it's one thing to say, you're right, he didn't come in for the whole match. He came in the last moment, but he's 16 years old. Mm-hmm. And I think you have to give, I mean, I don't even know how old is Divine Mikasa? He's probably 18, right? 18, so you think about how young that really is, 16 years old. I truly have my twins are older than him. So yes, you're right that it's not like he played the whole match. 16-year-old kids don't even get near our lineup. And maybe there's a difference in the depth. So therefore you have to pull a 16-year-old kid up. But when I seen Divine Mikasa or one of our academy kids get off of our bench in a game that's not a game against Huddersfield coming up, when I see them get off in a Premier League match, that's different.
Yep.
As the English would say, different gravy, right?
Yep.
So you're right, but I think there is something else to be said there that I just don't think that happens in our club. I really don't, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I do.
No, I agree with you, Tariq, but here's the crazy thing, right? Because you're going to have Liverpool fans that are like, well, where are the additions? You've let Nunez go, you've let Diaz go. So it's almost like, okay, there's the depletion. You're gonna fill out your roster with some younger players. I get all that, but we can't complain. We can't complain about both things. We can't say we want world-class talent, good enough for us to go out and compete in the transfer window, go and get so-and-so, and then say we need to be promoting up the academy players and have them available to play. Like they both don't work together. And no disrespect, but if you're going to throw on a youth in an attacking position, then a midfield, I think there's a world of difference, especially in a Pep system. I think there's going to be less trust to give a young player 19, 20 to be able to run things in the midfield than you would to be like, you know what, I'm throwing you on as an additional striker in the 90th minute of a game. And yeah, you're on the bench. Because we've done that. We've taken young players, we've taken the youth, we've taken academy players to Champions Leagues. They've been on the roster. They've been there for that experience. Now, has there been a reason to really throw them into the mix like that with regards to the Liverpool game? No. But I just find it weird. It's really weird to me right now. 1 year after winning, and I got it behind me. 1 year after winning a four-peat, never seen before in top flight English football, to everyone losing their minds and not having faith in the manager with this upcoming year. So I had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry, Martin. I know you were mid-flow talking about the youth and Ed and Tariq.
Sure, Mike. I'm just going to do these very quickly and we'll get in. Fogger, you're a legend with a 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, mate. And don't forget, next week we will be doing the membership giveaway for the signed Colin Bell, Mike Lee, and Colin Bell, Mike Summerbet, Francis Lee, print. Channel has gifted 5 memberships as well, so well done to those who've got them. And Lee Gates with the £10 super chat. Big up, mate. Thank you for your continued support. You and Fogger are amazing, as everyone is in the chat. I have a question for you, Martin, and panel. Do you think because Rodri will always be the starting 6, that's why we buy an 8 to be the backup 6, as they'll never come in over Rodri, Nico G and Kovacic are both 8s? I think it's a great point. I've always said you're never going to get Rodri.
Yeah, I think, as in order to get the quality of player that we want in our team, they have to know that they're going to get on the pitch somewhere. And you're right that in 99.9% of the matches, Rodri's going to be the 6, and you're going to just put everybody else in spots around him. So how else am I going to play? So if I'm really talented, which is what we're trying to build a team full of players that can play, we have to go get people that are flexible, can play in multiple positions, which then means we get a 6-8 hybrid. Maybe they're not specialists, but yeah, I do think there's something to be said here. But I just think that's the reality. And it is also why, taking this a step further, it is also why I believe a player like Julian Alvarez decided that this is not for me, not because he wasn't good, not because he didn't get love from the fans, but because I'm never going to be the 9 as long as Haaland is here. So he wasn't going to get the number of matches in the position that he wanted to play, in his preferred position. So he felt he had to go. And I think it would be the same thing here. If we brought in a specialist 6 and didn't play them, they're going to want to go too. So yeah, I do think this is something real here.
Tyreek, for me, with that, if we're going to do that, get me a top class guy that can do that. Like if you have a chance to get a Bruno G, you have a chance to get a Tonali, identify and go get that type of player, because for some reason it feels like we're wasting 50 million every year at this point on this backup 6-8 hybrid for Rodri.
I think it's too early. Okay. Calvin Phillips, that test and failed, right? But I don't think the investments that we've done since, right? When we look at Nico Gonzalez, when we look at even Reinders, even what we did prior with Kovacic, I don't think those have been failures. But I do understand how difficult it is to have to pivot. You've got to pivot and get an 8/6 because you're not going to get a 6. Declan Rice, if he was using his football brain, if he was thinking of what do I want to get out of this sport, what do I want to win, he's going to City. But when thinking of, well, where's my playing time going to come from, he's going somewhere else. Because even he decided not to come to City before Rodri was even announced Ballon d'Or. So that's always going to be a challenge when you have such great talent. And when Tariq brings up the example of Julian Alvarez, who gave us 2 years, and I'm sure that from year 1, when he was seeing Haaland get back-to-back hat tricks and thinking, am I really going to get a shot here? And then year 2, yes, had the success, but he's like, nah, I got to make my move because he's just that damn good. We're going to have that issues in certain positions. So the pivot to the pivot that we're making with regards to a hybrid 8/6 makes a lot of sense to me. And that's not forever as well, because what's Roger going to give us? Maybe another 5 years. So it's one of those where I think we're pivoting that way just for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I do want to say is, and I think this is a massive problem, and Lee, you make a great point in the super chat. You talk about Rodri, and I think for me, this is my opinion only. So people can disagree. It's all right. It's my opinion. I think we've been so blessed with the players and the teams we've had over the last 4 or 5 years. I think we're expecting that level of player every single time. To Wall said, you're not going to get another KDB. You are not going to get another Rodri. We're seeing you're not even going to get another Edison. They're just not there growing on a tree. And I think we're very lucky, whatever you want to call it, that we got an accumulation of players that just all came together at the right time, at the right place. Now, this team may do that. But the trouble is, we're too busy comparing Ryan Cherky to KDB, and we're too busy comparing Nico G to Rodri, and we're too busy comparing this guy to that guy and this guy to that guy, that maybe they're just not out there. Maybe we just got a little bit lucky with that crop of players. Sometimes that can happen. Maybe we're not going to find... Like, you know, when we won the treble and we beat Madrid 4-0 and we beat Bayern, 4-1, whatever it was, those are the things you have to do to get a treble. But why a treble's only been done twice in 28 years? Because that very rarely happens. And you are asking a squad, sorry, 1 minute back. You're asking a squad to go 70 games, no injuries, no issues off the field, everyone pulling in the right direction, and everyone giving out the blood, guts, and thunder for 70 games. That's how you land into a treble.
Yeah, and the reason why I didn't mean to step on that a little bit.
No, man.
When you talked about everyone pulling in the same direction, that's what makes it special. You can't pursue something like that when there's a strong division within the fan base, when the organization aren't quite on the same page, when there's doubt with regards to, players and their importance. Like there's a lot that goes into place to have memorable, magical seasons like that. And for some of the fan base, they think it's, you just collect a couple players and here you go. No, you got to have the balance in terms of, you know what, this one player is going to do a little extra work on the pitch to free up another player to maybe be more offensive, or like the grind is so rare. And I get why some of the younger fans don't think of it being difficult because it kind of happened like that. But at the same time, I also get why there's a fan base that on the moment of winning the treble had tears in their eyes, because it is incredibly difficult to do, especially in this league. No disrespect to the other leagues, but it's incredibly difficult in this league in particular, because there's no favors given with regards to a Champions League schedule. There's no favors given with regards to winter breaks, right? So, man, if for any fan base being like, we need to be building to go and get that next treble, okay, we will build, but it's gonna take a lot.
I mean, just to Maddo's comment here, I don't think when we bought the rebuild last time, how many were ready-made? KDB was, I give you that. Aguero was. Rodri was a shambles in his first season. If Rodri, my point is, man, if Rodri had come into the team now than when he came in 7 years ago, I think 7 years ago would have given him the time. I'm not sure we're going to give that time now, because since then we won the 4 in a row, we won the treble. Expectations, right or wrong, they've changed to where they were then.
Yeah,
people were a bit more patient to go a year for Rodri to break in. People aren't. I'm going to say it, people aren't patient enough anymore, Mad Hatter, to allow somebody to come and ever do a Rodri ever again.
I think you'll give a player 2 years, because even with like the whole Savinho situation, nobody was calling for
Yeah.
him to be out until he voiced he was keen to go somewhere else. I think we were more on Doku because he was already been here 2 years, about to go 3 years. So I think 2 years is where you're probably going to get now instead of 3.
Yeah, listen, I don't love Bruno. Bruno just was never going to happen for various reasons. That's the problem. And
Martin, real quick, let me with regards to Bruno. I know a lot of it's been kind of like dialed down. There's not much talked about. Before, every time we would talk Manchester City, there's a 115, right? For some reason, that discussion's kind of dampered. But I honestly believe that gray cloud over our heads also was part of why our continued, like, maybe reinvestment or ability to get those top talents. I think it did hinder us because, yeah, you're going to have some players questioning or not wanting to take the risk on the gray cloud that was looming over us. Moving past that, I think we're also going to be a lot more comfortable when we want to go out and get the Brunos, when we would normally maybe take a chance on Paqueta, but with us having a gray cloud and taking on a player with a gray cloud, like, we don't do that. I think when we get past that, we're off and running again.
Yeah, I mean, like I says, there's a big difference. I think there is slightly now, like Tottenham with Walker. Levy's never selling us anything like that ever again. Because Levy did say something after Walker left. He went, "I'll never do that again." He realized he messed up selling us Walker for 50 million. The trouble is, man, how the market's so different now. A bang average player is 50 million quid. 50 million
because
quid.
all the teams have tons
Yeah,
of money.
everyone's got money now.
Yeah.
8 years ago, 50 million quid was a lot of money and you didn't have a lot of competition. Now people are spending 50 million like it's 10p. And that's the problem. The market is so messed up that I don't think you can go and do. Like Gundo. By the way, Gundo, great example, 25 million quid. You're never getting a Gundo out for 25 million quid ever again unless you get an absolute chance of doing it. You're never doing it ever again.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
The other thing is, I mean, it's not always easy to get these top world-class players in. They have to also want to come. So maybe like Vader said about the 115, maybe that goes away eventually, and it's a little bit potentially, one small hurdle is overcome. But like, we were in for Jude Bellingham, and he didn't come to us. We were in for Declan Rice. He didn't come to us. Like, we were potentially, I'm not saying Rodrigo's quite at that level, but doesn't seem like that is happening. It's not exactly easy to buy 11 of the best players in the world at their positions either. And eventually, I mean, you have to buy someone if a player leaves, and maybe it just so happened that we've gotten project players to be these replacements because we haven't been able to buy the absolute best in class quality, like top 3 in their position. Like, they don't come available all the time.
No, like you said, I agree. We got Reinders and Cherky ready cheap, but people are already saying Cherky's not ready. But that's what I'm doing. Yeah. People are giving up people are just giving up like that now.
Listen, City fans are giving up on Cherky? Because I haven't heard that. I mean, maybe
I'm sure there are.
30 goals.
A few.
Many saying he's not good enough.
Yeah, a few. But again, the reason why, if we
not everyone, I agree
not everyone. If we stay level-headed, we see all of the excuses, we see all of the put into context with regards to Florian Wirtz, right? He's given time despite the price tag, and his first 2 games, nothing to really write home about. I think we need to have that same balance with regards to Reinders and Cherky, and understanding that there is a learning curve to the club. There's definitely a learning curve to playing under Pep, and the league in itself. I think we'll get the fact that we did the business with Reinders and Cherky in particular, and the chat was great with regards to mentioning them. I think it does speak to how we are going to continue to find our gems. I think we'll still be able to go out, and in all reality, we have that despite the numbers in Savinho, right? Savinho's price tag to or evaluation is 60 plus after 1 year over at City, right? So again, 1 year, let's give him some more time. I think he can be that impact player. I'm not writing off Doku either, because there's the player, his style, and now his connectivity that needs to happen with, I mean, the big man up front in particular. But I just think, and Martin said it earlier, patience is at an all-time low in the world today. It's at an
not just
all-time
football,
low.
by the way. That's everywhere.
Yeah, no, across the board. I think
I'll
it's
tell
how
you off there what's
think.
going on in where I live. And if I told you what's going on where I live on the 13th of September in the UK, and I know the world's gone mad. There is a lot of anger, a lot of hate, a lot of everything at the minute. I think everyone's just hate. They're upset. They're angry. They're just everything. Everything. And I said this, I don't want to make this politics, but I said, go to every country in the world and everyone's got a problem with the government. They've all got a problem with the politics. They've all got a problem with the money. They've all got a problem with everything at the minute. Everyone's got a problem everywhere. I think everyone is just venting for venting's sake now. I mean, like, you know, it's mad at you out. I get what you're saying. But the difference is City have spent nearly 400 million since January.
Mm-hmm.
We've spent actually more than Liverpool in 6 months. But because only one looks at this summer, goes under the radar. They spent 140, 150 mil, Dan. They've spent, what, 200 this summer plus all your wages that go.
Yo, Martin, I'm going to show off my net profit trophy, okay? I'm going to show off my net profit.
Your net spin trophy?
Yeah, my net spin trophy, okay? I will... The only swiping the card and it's only 75. It still take off 75 mil. That's it, man.
I mean, but this is the thing. It's why everyone goes on like net spend trophies now, and we never talked about that. I never heard Ferguson talking about a net spend trophy and a gross trophy, and people are like jumping around over that.
Yeah.
Like, that's something the players and the business side should be talking about, not us. We just talk about. I'm just going outside because we're going a bit off topic. The only thing I will say is, what did you all think of the style of play? Because I'm going to be honest, I didn't like it. And I'm going to get collar boring old fart again. No. It was a bit A to Z for me. I don't mind fast football, but I don't want to lose all the control.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've nicknamed it Mario Kart football. And everyone looked comfortable with it.
I didn't so much mind the style of play. I just felt like we got outworked, and that's why it was unbalanced.
Yeah. We weren't even able to do the basics.
Yeah. I felt like, yes, we were misplacing passes 100%, but even with regards to the 50-50s, we weren't winning those. And when we would lose possession, it seemed like Spurs were just that little bit faster, that ready to run downhill on us. And we didn't really show the same. If I'm gonna be real, I think the balance is off with Marmoush without it Ait-Nouri, because Marmoush doesn't want to operate out wide. Marmoush has got a nose for goal. Like there's the reason why he had goal of the season last year. He's always looking to get his shot. And I think if we had Ait-Nouri holds the width, Marmoush gets to come inside, and then I think we'd have a better style of play. It kind of went out the window, and I'm not hating on Ake, but that's not Ake's strong suit.
That's the best analogy. We went from pedestrian football to F1 football, and like, whoa, go! It was like, whoa.
Yeah, I think the balance was just off, and credit to Spurs because they did outwork us.
Massive credit to Spurs. I don't think that's been said enough, actually. Credit to Spurs, but
and
I know that's not the in thing to do anymore, of giving your opponents any kind of
of course
praise.
No. And it's a combination of two things, right? So obviously, I know many are tired to hear about Spurs being our bogey team or whatever, but we have a poor record against them for a reason. Even at home, guys, I hated being reminded, because I blocked this out of my mind. I don't know. I had like the MIB Men in Black, like that taser thing. I was reminded that we lost 4-0 to these guys at home when we were displaying Rodri with the Ballon d'Or. We tried to do all that and we got embarrassed last season. And this was a Spurs that had Ange. Now you got Thomas Frank, and Thomas Frank, let's not forget, when he was at Brentford was causing us problems. Our treble season, we didn't even catch a win off of those guys. So I was like hoping, optimistic for a good performance, but with regards to the Spurs and Thomas Frank combination, that was a game where we were just reminded that we need to be on our A game versus them. There's no gimmies. There's no easy games versus Spurs. So credit to those guys. I hope we don't repeat that performance. I hope we don't repeat that combination of players for a while. Because I honestly think that the balance was off in my opinion.
Yeah, if you want control, you got to go probably Bernardo in the midfield, I would think. And I personally wasn't anti the style of play. I'm more anti not taking our chances. Like,
yeah,
I think if we score our chances, everyone's like, wow, we have changed the way we play. Tactical masterclass from Pep.
Exactly.
We're playing rock and roll football, and we put 3 past them, and we just didn't do it. So people are pissed, and I get it. That's more where I fall under it. Like, play style is what it is. I'm not going to criticize Pep. We should have scored multiple goals.
Yeah, I think you can't really judge the play style until after a few games to really see it and what it's going to truly be.
Yeah, I'd probably say 10 games. I mean, in my head, I've said 10 games. 10 games is when I'll make a decision on whether A, we can fight for the title, B, where we're going to be, C, the playing style.
Okay. Am I wrong to say, and not to pivot too quickly, but we know who we're playing in the Carabao Cup. Am I wrong to say that I want that trophy this year? I
definitely want it. I want to be in Wembley in February.
Okay.
Must be nice.
Are you guys in agreement where you want to see the club, show the armpits for the Carabao, or you guys are like,
yeah, I want it. I want to win. This is what I mean. People go, you've no standards. I do. There's a difference to me. I have standards. I just don't melt down when we don't win. That's all I do. Of course I want to win trophies. Of course I do. I'm just not going to pep out when we don't. There's a difference.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ed. What'd you say, Ed?
No, I was just gonna say that I know what saw happened tonight, but I do expect us to beat Huddersfield. If I don't have us, if I'm not confident about Huddersfield, it's about to be a long season for us.
Yeah,
that's my perspective.
But we've got to beat Huddersfield. Even I'm going to say that.
We had won the Carabao Cup so many seasons in a row that I think kind of started to kind of take it for granted. I will be the first to tell you that if you step on a Shades of Blue stream, you've probably heard me say it's the I don't care about Cup. So, I've kind of nicknamed it that. But after going effectively trophyless last season, I want to win every trophy, every single one that's out there. And I think Pep in the past has used, and not just Pep, but Mourinho too, they've used the Carabao Cup trophy. It's the first one that's available throughout the course of the season. So you go win that one in hopes that it will build that, trophy winning momentum in the club and in the team. So yes, I want to go hard for every trophy. I think the longer we are in these competitions, the more our, I'm going to say, second string of players gets game time. You can see them gaining that experience and that. So yes, I want to win that and every other trophy.
Nice.
Yeah, I think everyone would say they want to win it. I think we would also probably, for the most part, agree it's least on the priorities of all trophies available, which I don't think is harsh to say. It just is. Do we want to win it in detriment to the other cups like the FA Cup or the Champions League? I mean, I would rather win the Champions League personally.
Yeah.
And I think everybody else would. But I also love the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup because I get to see, hopefully, some of the academy guys with the guys that don't necessarily play as much. So yes, I want to win, but I also want to see rotation and young players getting their chance for sure.
Well, that's the other
what
thing I
I'd
was
like.
going to say. Apologies. I was going to say too, we have 1 million players in our squad at the moment. So we got enough, we can rotate multiple times and still have more than enough talent out there. When you think about, and again, maybe he ends up leaving, but you think about Agundo, who hasn't gotten any of these matches yet. If he ends up playing in cup competitions, that experience, whatever, again, we have that ability to do that this season, where we couldn't do that last season, where we were just find me somebody healthy. That was the extent of our rotation.
Yeah.
Just find me a healthy player, put them out there. Whereas now, again, like I said, we got 800 people. So it's like, keep running them out there. Everybody should stay healthy and ready to go.
Yeah.
Plus, they have
Exactly.
changed the
Makes it even
Carabao
bigger.
Cup now. They changed the Carabao Cup now. They made it, what's it called? Seeded.
Oh,
I heard LB say that, but I didn't know. I didn't see the draw.
It's because
so I don't know
of how they so they Champions League and Europa League teams can't play each other.
Yeah, they're basically trying to make it so you will get so you will get shocks as well, like because there's been shocks in this. So
you say it's for shocks. I go the other way. It's to keep the Champions League and Europa League, that top 7, to keep them in as long as possible.
But I think you've got more chance of shocks the way it's
sure.
set up now, is what I mean. Yeah, I think it depends what these top clubs put out team wise. I think so. Yeah. I know you've got to go in a minute, Beta. You want to tell everyone where you are, mate? I know.
Yeah, no, it's real simple, guys. YouTube, just type in the search bar Vader Games TV. You'll find the channel, and I enjoy doing this show once a week, and I enjoy consuming your content when you guys post. So thank you so very much. I'm gonna say this because we didn't sling any mud over at United, but football won today. Football won today with United's loss. Let's all recognize that.
United got put in the place.
Yes, and I saw a comment earlier where they said if Pep loses to this United, should he leave?
No, don't even entertain it.
No, he should not.
I'll tell you this right now, and Martin might not like to hear this. I'm just gonna be heavy critical, okay? We just seen this team lose to Grisby Town. If they have Amarim as their manager when they play us, because if they bring in a new manager, that's manager bouts.
Do you know why it's different today, Ed? You know why it's different?
Please, as Derby.
No, but Ed, I have seen some of the worst City teams in the history plant Ferguson's Prime United team on its ass.
You losing the fourth tier teams.
Ed, don't say so. Right. I've seen us beat United when they've got Fabian Barthez, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Giggs, Keane, and with all due respect, and I love them, and I really do love them. They're idols to me. But Danny Tiato, Sean Goater, come on,
no
Ed.
business. We had no business winning. We had no business.
I'm not trying to be a dick
Great
here,
show, guys.
but yeah, you know what I mean. It's different. And I know people don't understand that, but derbies are levelers. They are levelers. Derbies are levelers. I wish they weren't. Trust me now. I wish I could sit in a derby and go, City going to win 5-0. And I'd put all my money in the world. But I can't.
Playing as the underdog.
Teams get a result against Liverpool. You have no right to do it.
Yeah, they were. So I when he said earlier, when we first started, you said we could start anywhere we wanted to. He said, "Oh, before we go forward, we got to go back." I thought he was going to talk about a team that's stuck back in history, which was going to be United, but he didn't go there. But I just think when you are the favored or the the team that is expected to win, there's a different type of pressure that's on you than when you just like they show up against us, you know, and it's just like no one is expecting them to win. It is a derby match. So again, it's gonna play a little different. I think they went into that match against Grimsby Town, and I think they I think that they just assumed they were gonna walk in and win it. And they won't think that when they play us. To be fair, I think I don't know that our players thought this, but I think some of our fans thought that we were going to show up to Tottenham with no Son, no Harry Kane, Madison out, and whatever, and we were going to win.
I admit, Tariq, I underestimated.
And you just can't do that.
I did, and that's where I can be honest. I went into it and I said, no Son, no colour. I said this was the worst Tottenham team that was waltzing into the Etihad.
But when you are the underdog, it's easier. I mean, I don't say it's easy because I've never been out there, right? But you can play and just hold on and defend and whatever. And all you got to do is hope for one. And if you get beat, then you probably were expected to get beat anyway. So I think there's just a different level of expectation and just the mentality going into the match that makes it a little different. So I don't think that what we saw tonight, we will see when we play them. But I hope we batter them, of course. I hope we 7, 8, hang a 10 spot on them. I'm good.
Yeah. And of course I want to do that. I'm just saying that in a derby, it is different. And some might not believe me. It just is. It just is different. I wish it wasn't. I wish I could sit there and go, it's not different. It's absolutely fine. Because, I mean, 08, someone mentioned 08. And you look at the two teams then, we had no right to win. This was United's team. Van der Sar, Wes Brown, Vidic, and Ferdinand. Some see the greatest centre-back partnership ever. O'Shea, Nane, Scholes.
Martin, did we almost get relegated in 08, though?
Yeah. Well, no. We finished 12th, something like that. 10th, something like that. We were all right. Giggs, Ronaldo.
Yeah, we were mid-table. Yeah.
This was United, yeah. Giggs, Ronaldo, Tevez, yeah. This was our team. Joe Hart, Neddy Manua, Micah Richards, Richard Dunn, Michael Ball, I don't mean the singer, Darius Vassell, yeah. Ireland, Dida Haman, Gelson Fernandez, Martin Petrov, Benjana. And we went to Old Trafford and won.
Hey, man, that team right there has more heart and spirit.
Get in the bin here. Get in the bin.
Than this United team, I tell you right now.
Prime Ronaldo. And I mean prime Ronaldo. What are you doing here, then? I'll get Eddie's trying it. And that's all I'm saying. Any other team, I'm with you. But United, I always do. You ask any City fan, they're never nervous in Derby Day. Sorry, they're never comfortable. Everyone goes in like that on Derby Day, like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
That's how it is here in the States. I mean, we call it rivalry games here.
Yeah.
Same sort of deal. It's just different.
Well,
when Florida and Miami play.
About, though, isn't it?
Hey, Tyreek, I saw that post, man. I'm going to let you know I'm a Florida State fan, man. I'm going to let you know this right now, man.
So, Rajak, we were having this conversation before we came on. That's why he threw that out there. But if you see right there, you can see that the U right there for all of
I'm a Seminole, man. Rajak, you a Florida fan?
Rajak, no. So, I got
Florida Gator.
Florida
Gator alumni.
Yeah. So it's going to be who's going to win the battle of the Florida teams.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone that is not from the States that's listening, and we're talking college football here, big rivalry.
Rajak just had a good quarterback for the first time in 20 years, man.
Ooh,
first time in 20 years is pushing it. Tebow graduated in 07.
I was going to say.
So.
I was thinking about Tyreek. My bad. I was thinking about Tyreek.
I mean, you talking about last year we had Cam Ward?
Yeah, that's the first time you had a good quarterback.
Do I need to split you two up here? You getting it, man?
No, I guess personal, man. I'm a Florida State fan.
No, it's okay. Wait till we play, and then we have to come back on. Then you'll hear it all.
Oh yeah.
So
thought this was meant to be the calm panel. You're getting all angry.
Nah,
you know.
Ryjack a Florida fan. I got to
Well,
talk
see,
to
this is the
Ryjack
thing. This
after
is the
this,
thing,
man.
Martin. We all agree on City, so we're all saying the same thing. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Now we're like rivals in this college football space, and so yeah, this is we're on opposite ends now. But
I mean, we could not
we'll see
be
how
bigger rivals.
What's that?
Like, we could not be bigger rivals, I would say.
Yeah,
It's
it would be like a
City
derby
United.
match. It's like a derby match. Yeah.
Simone Soaps, member for 20 months, mate. You
Big
are a
up.
superstar alongside ourselves and Fogger. This is
I'm emotional. I mean, this is a dream come true. All these guys deserve. All these guys around here.
big up, mate. Thank you. Alan, big up, mate. Back in Melbourne now. Sorry issues. See you all. Don't worry. People know you've been looking after your dad, mate, and I hope your dad is well. Thank you very much for the $5, mate. We'll see you soon. Spartacus with the 2. Brazilian, thank you. The only way to get to Derby Magic is being live. It really isn't. It really isn't. When my 15-year-old said, Dad, can I come to a Derby game at Old Trafford? I was like, come to one at the Etihad. I'm not quite going to take you to I'm not taking you to the Swamp yet. You're not there for that yet.
Take him to the, because you know where you're going to be at, Martin. He's trying to go take him to the
I'm
family
not putting
stand,
him in that situation yet. I want him a bit older before we go into that territory.
No, I'm
if
with
you know
you
what
on
I mean,
that
because it does get us. Right, let's move on to the other stuff. Savinio's going to stay. We did predict this long time ago here on the channel. Rodrigo, I'll be honest with you, I think it was all media stuff. City never actually properly moved for him. It is what it is. Do I think Rodrigo ever had the balls to walk out of Madrid? No. Don't think he did. For someone who's so unhappy, he's like, I don't want to leave. It is what it is. And Donnarumma, I know what Ornstein has said today. Again, he's been very clever with the wording. PSG think expect him to join City, but they know things can check. Well, no shit, Sherlock. There is still no bid come in, been accepted for Ederson. We are 4 days out.
But Martin,
I put my hand on my heart. I don't see anything happening. I don't see no goalie, no wingers. I think we're done for incomings.
I know the other windows. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ed.
No, I was just gonna say that. I don't know, man. I think this loss makes United get that goalkeeper from Belgium and Galatasaray to throw the money in for Ederson, man. That's what I'm hoping for right now. Because they're linked to that goalkeeper Galatasaray just bidded for. So, Onana was crap tonight.
Does it make it worse they've got another 2 weeks?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The window is open longer for those other countries, but if we don't have the ability to bring in a replacement, I don't see how we let them go.
Yeah.
So if they don't do it while we still have a chance to bring in Donnarumma, then I think it's too late.
I just think it's deadline day got written all over it. It's just gonna drag and drag.
Oh
and drag.
man, don't say that.
I mean, like, if you think about it, if we sign him tonight, he's not playing on Saturday or whatever our game is. Like, there's no rush to get this deal done before the actual last minute here for either side, I would think. So I just think it just drags until someone buckles, whoever it is, and then the deal gets done or it doesn't. I don't know.
Would you guys be, if Ederson stays, what are some thoughts that run through you guys' mind?
I hope he plays.
I think it's too late. I think with Thursday tomorrow, and no one's even got bids accepted yet.
I think it's easier to run Ederson for the time being and then go to Trafford eventually if Ederson struggles than it is to run Trafford for a while. Ederson's sitting on the bench. He's been our keeper for 8-9 years. He's not playing. He wanted to leave for 2 years now. And then Trafford struggles, and they're like, all right, well, now we're going to go back to Ederson, and his head's already gone. I think if he stays, he's got to start, at least until it gets to a point where he struggles and we need to go to give Trafford a chance. That's at least how I would think it makes sense.
Yeah. I think you're probably right that if we stick with Trafford as the number one, then I think that Ederson probably doesn't play. He's just an insurance policy, and he's gone in the January window, assuming they can get it across the line. But it would be strange to see like Ederson being the cup keeper. That would be strange.
So we're going to run 5 keepers.
Well, I was gonna. You think we're gonna bring in Donnarumma without getting rid of somebody else?
Well, that was going to be next. Is that what you're saying? Would you do Donnarumma? He said even if Eddie stays.
I just don't see it happening.
No, there's no way. First of all, we got to get rid of Ortega. No disrespect, but he's got to go. And then in order to bring in Donnarumma, in my opinion, Ederson has to go as well, which I think everybody's fine with, but got to get the actual offer.
El Goal says if Ederson stays, it's a disaster. Number one goalkeeper doesn't want to be here.
Which is why I don't.
Be here. Why is he not helping himself then?
Take less. Yeah,
but Martin, that's the same with any player, though. To be honest.
Yeah, I understand that comment.
He's not jumping to get out the door. Is my point, is there?
Well, see, I understand why he's not, because I have the ability. If I don't find the right opportunity, then I just sit still for 6 months. In January, I can sign a pre-contract agreement with whatever team I want, and whatever signing on bonus is all coming to me. Right. So even if it's just say it's 15 million that Galatasaray are going to pay, I just wait out the year. That 15 million comes directly to me. So if I'm Ederson, I'm not going unless I find the right opportunity.
By the way,
yeah, you don't. I'm not going to let you push me into something that I'm not really comfortable with just because it helps you out. Now, that's the player's perspective, right? From a club's perspective, from my perspective as a fan, it's like, hey, I'm ready to move on from you, but I also have to recognize you have a contract, and you got to figure out what works for you. So I understand why they haven't gone, even though we might want them to.
Yeah.
But it's the same, going back to the Savio thing, right? So Savio evidently is going to stay, and regardless of why or what the true reasoning is, at the end of the day, if he stays, I am concerned that we as a fan base are not going to allow him to move beyond the fact that, oh, he said he wanted to go or whatever. And I don't know that he necessarily said he wanted to go, but because I've been, not a professional footballer, but just from my regular job, I've been perfectly happy with where I've been, but people have reached out, and what I've said to them is, well, I really like where I'm at, but it would take something exceptional for me to consider switching. But if it's exceptional, let's talk. And you know what? There have been a couple of times where I'm like, you know what? That's actually exceptional. So I'm not saying he's trying to push his way out, but if there's an opportunity, why not consider it? But I think as a fan base, the moment he misses his first shot or the moment he makes his first mistake, we're going to jump on him and whatever. And we just can't be that reactionary. We have to be able to say, you know what? That situation didn't happen. He's with us. Let's get behind him. Let's big him up and, push him on to greatness. I just don't know that because we're not patient, to use a word that you used earlier. I don't know that we're going to do that. And that's concerning for me.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost gone too far for him to come back and be integrated back in, but it's too late. City's already said what they're going to do. So now it'll be interesting to see how he gets integrated back in and what the fan base does, because I'm concerned that we never really accept him again.
He's going to have to produce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he scores
for sure
10 goals, I mean, no one
and everybody will be like happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way around it. Just, you got one league goal last year. Surely you can do an improvement on that. Let's maybe not 10, but like if you up your G&A and you play well, people will be fine. If you don't, I mean, I think people will be upset. And that's just, I mean, that would be the same for any player. People were upset with Grealish, and Grealish wasn't trying to leave. It's just because he wasn't playing well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with Savinho, we've just got to get behind him. I think we've got to get behind him now and show some sport. Do I think Edison's going to have to do it? Sorry, Savinho's going to have to do a little bit of backpedaling. I don't know how much has been said, what's been said, how it is. I will say he is injured. That's not a fake injury. He will not be taking part against Brighton on Saturday. He is injured. They're looking at United when he's back. He will not be taking part this weekend. So, but I think we'll see. Right now, you want me to be honest, the only one who leaves is Akanji.
Really? That's it?
Ortega? Or are we not really counting him?
Ortega might just be quietly out the door, moved on. Yeah. Bettinelli's injured at the moment as well.
Mm.
See, what City are doing is they're not announcing injuries. They've learned from this window a little bit of what's been said. And I will say City are a bit annoyed about what's gone on.
It's weird they don't announce injuries because, I mean, over in the NFL, there's an injury report that you have to announce what's going on. Like,
I don't even notice. There's a little bit. Yeah. It seems to be. I'm only guessing looking at this. Seems to be a bit of tension between the local media and Fabrizio at the minute because he's shutting them down. They're trying to shut him down, and I think everyone's. I said I asked and I got told they weren't overly happy with what's going on outside. Do you think some people haven't helped the situation?
Why do you think Fabrizio is getting so much more news this year than he has? Because again,
I was going to bring that up. What you just put. I don't know. Is it a Viana thing?
Oh. That's what I was going to ask. Is it a Viana?
Is it a Jorge Mendes thing?
Mm.
I don't know. I know City. It's not really a City thing. It's not a cheeky thing. I know that. So
it just feels like he's gotten way more. We're hearing so much more than we did in years past, and maybe I just don't recall it like that. Maybe I'm just wrong.
I don't think that's helped the situation, though. Because let's be honest, some people had already signed Rodrigo and had his shirt named on the back, had his name on the back of a shirt before he'd even done out. Rodrigo is done, signed the deal, was talking about where he was going to play and what he was going to do, and it's not even gone anywhere yet. And from the news today, City have never even entertained a bid from Spurs. It's the exact same news as it was 10 days ago, not for sale.
Is it possible, though, that that's a bit of PR where we did in the background try for Rodrigo? We were clearly indicated that that's not happening. So we say,
no, I don't think they've ever moved for him. I think they've talked in-house. They've never officially moved for him.
Well, even like intermediaries or agent talk.
No, they've never spoke.
We found out that Rodrigo's not happening. I mean, is it like Florian Wirtz thing where it's like we realized it wasn't happening and we put out that story that's like we've decided to move on for the cost, and maybe it's all the same thing. Whatever they put out is either true or not true, and maybe we never know. But that's at least how I think about it. Like we wanted Rodrigo as the replacement, found out it wasn't happening, so we never got the indication Rodrigo was happening, which is why we never considered the Savinho bid. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
Yeah, well, they must have known then 2 weeks ago. Because that's when they stopped the Savinho deal, Dad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were trying to wait some time, see if Rodrigo's situation changed, potentially. Because I cannot get behind regardless of what Spurs bid, we're saying no for a personal thing we have with Daniel Levy. I don't know if it's entirely that, but those reports are out there. And I just think if you're getting 70 million pounds for the guy a year after he scored 1 goal in the Prem.
But you're not getting 70 mil. You are getting 70 mil and you're not. You're getting 70 mil, but the way Spurs are doing it, you're getting 70 mil 5 years down the line. Whereas City don't do them deals. That's the big thing with it. This is the thing with transfers that I've tried to explain, is sometimes they break on payment structures. City generally pay in 2 payments. That's generally the way we like to do it. 2 payments done. Whereas other people don't do that. So Tottenham will pay, say it's 70 mil, we'll give you 5 million up front, 65 across 5 years.
Sure.
City don't really want that, because what you're doing is City are front loading the money, Spurs are back loading the money.
Which is why we took so long to get our money back from Barcelona on Ferran Torres.
Yeah, Torres.
Sure.
So everyone said, "Oh, he's not paying no thing," because we agreed for Torres to be backdated, to be backloaded. And then what some clubs will do, this is where all the ATP loans came out of. Clubs were getting loans out because it was easier. They got a better interest rate. Say they want to spend 300 mil this summer.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go to their bank, £300 million loan. They'll get a better interest rate on that, pay it up front or pay it in 2 payments rather than paying it out of the club's funds. If that makes sense. This is how all the club loans all came to light. Because people think transfers are done with club funds. They're not always done that way. It depends. It's still money, isn't it, at the end of the day? And you're still dealing with an APR rates and interest rates and what's the best deal. It's like you get a car. You get a car over 5 years, you're going to pay more for it than what you would over a year or 2 years. Still going to cost you more down the road. And football clubs are a little bit the same. Not all of them are. It depends if what they call, you probably heard the term cash rich, which is what have they got the cash, the liquid cash? As me and LB joke once, have they got the liquid cash sat in their bank? Or is it in assets? A bit like, who's the guy on X who owns it? What's he called?
You talking about Elon Musk?
Elon Musk. He's not actually liquid cash rich when you look at him. He's asset rich.
But he could get liquid cash rich real quick.
No, but yeah, of course he can. He sells all these things. But all of his, when you say what's his value, yeah, because you're adding all his businesses and all that together and because I think they asked that Donald Trump once, didn't they? And he says, "What have I got in my bank?" And he went, "I haven't actually got a lot in my bank. It's tied up in all my businesses." This is the thing. It is what it is. But that's where City were with it.
Part of this is like it's the finances of football, which we were talking about earlier. Like none of us are finance experts over here. We're not Stefan Borson or anything where we know the ins and outs of everything.
No, fans don't want to go into that. Yeah.
And it's like Spurs want to pay 70 million. We paid 20 for him. I get it's deeper than that, but like to me, that's 5x on the or whatever. Not 5x.
Yeah, of course it is.
3.5. So
yeah.
Who would you have got then? Say you'd have sold Semenyo. Who would you have got? If it wasn't Rodrigo, would you have sold him and got someone else?
Can I pick anyone? Like I'd pick Lamine Yamal if we could pick anyone, but
within reason, you're not getting Rodrigo, you're not getting him.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned
I think I actually put a tweet out the other day. Let me remember who I put up.
And I said, "What's the difference between Akalush and Semenyo?"
What's the difference between who and who?
Akalush and Semenyo, both project players.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of maybe like I don't know what people think about this type of player, but like a Lookman, a player like that.
Yeah. There's some stuff out there about Lookman in City.
I don't know.
That's not accurate, but yeah.
Oh, that Semenyo, I watched him. Hey, dude was a beast.
But is Semenyo a project player?
No,
he's like 26,
fantastic.
27, something like that. So yeah, he should be. Yeah, I mean,
Premier League player.
What I would say though,
It depends on
not-
if he produces though. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
I mean, I have a list right here of 9 players that I would have considered. I had if Savinho, to be honest, I think that it would be Savinho or Rodrigo. That was the deal. But let's assume they're considering other options. I had Barcola, I had Rafa Leao, I had Yildiz, I had Kavicha Kvaradona, I had Elise, I had Due, I had Semenyo on the list, Ekliuch, and then there's a young guy at Sporting, Quenda, however you say his name.
He's going Chelsea.
The only one I'd say is Elisa.
Yeah, I would definitely.
And
take
they're all just. I would take him in any of those.
Just my thing. I think Leao's not a good player.
What do you think about Barcola? He in my opinion, he's a project.
I wanted him over Daku 2 years ago, back when we were linked. I remember because I watched a YouTube compilation. I was sold.
Savinho to Rodrigo is an upgrade. I'll give you that. And you're paying big, but I don't want to. This is my thing. The argument of Savinho was he was young and he's not ready. Well, you're just rinse and repeating it all over again.
But in this scenario, he leaves. We have to replace him.
No, he's not going to leave though. Yeah, I'm just saying if he was going to leave.
Yeah.
I think by keeping him, we are putting a lot of additional. Like I talked a few minutes ago about how the fans are going to treat his first mistake or whatever. But I think the club is putting a lot of pressure on this kid because we're saying we're not going to take 70+ million for you because we think that your future is so bright, whatever, right? And I'm one of those people that thought that, he's got a lot of potential. Do we want to give up on that too soon? But by 75 million, that's a lot of money to turn down, especially if you're not going to come good. You have to come good. Or we all look around and like, we should have taken that money. And I think that's a little bit of pressure on him that he didn't have last year.
Is there a reason Spurs are wanting to spend that kind of money though?
Well, Spurs usually
because it's potential, but until he realizes it, it's just potential.
They have a lot of potential players.
I
don't know about Lookman though.
As far as I know, Martin, you talked about this last week. You like the analytics of football. So there's a site, FBref, which I use a lot to look at just for per 90s comparisons and whatnot. If you pull up Savinho, everything is fantastic for this guy, bar goals. Bar goals, he's in the 8th percentile of goals per 90, non-penalty goals per 90, which obviously is extremely low. But if you look over to his similar players, based on what he has done the last 365 days, you have Lamine Yamal, Vinny Jr., Son, Kvaratskhelia, Florian Wirtz, Bukayo Saka, Garnacho, Madueke, Leao, and Conceição at Juve. So bar goals, which obviously is a huge part of the game, he is statistically per 90 in these advanced analytic stats. He's good, which is something that is hopeful. Or gives hope in the future that adding goals to the game, he becomes a very good player who's very usable, but adding goals is the hardest thing to do, obviously. That's why you pay the big money for the guys that get the goals.
I don't know if anyone knows, Edison, by the way, has been part of the UCL photo shoot.
They all have. That's been done a while ago, Mark.
I'm just saying, Ed.
That's been done a while ago. Don't try to do that, Mark. Don't try to do that.
Look, you're all driving Edison out to the airport already.
I just think that for me, that's a goalkeeper. For me, is a major position, especially when you're in like a transition period too. I feel like
Blaise Fabrizio's just on a calendar is yet to accept the Galatasaray offer because he doesn't want to go there. AC Milan, Bayer Leverkusen, and Crystal Palace doesn't want to go to Palace. From what I've heard, keep the eye on the Leverkusen. Maybe a loan with an option to buy.
I've never understood options to buy. Is there not always an option to buy after every loan?
I think in this case, they lock in a price. You have a defined price.
Yeah, but how often do those get done? Where it's like, all right.
If he goes out there and kills it, then you would do it. But if he doesn't, or if it's just whatever, you're like, maybe not.
Yeah. I guess like Grealish is Everton's 50 mil option. I mean, even if he does great, he's got a year left on the contract. Nobody's paying 50 for him. It's like, yes, I have that option, but I also have the option of telling you I will pay you 30 million.
Well, an obligation, as you know, means they've got to buy him.
Right.
Option is they can send him back if he doesn't. I'm going to be honest. I prefer an obligation.
Sure.
Yeah, but
if they don't take him, it just depends on him, right? If he plays good and they don't take him, we can still sell him to another club because he still had good performances.
Yes, I mean, listen, everyone should be wishing Jack Grealish to have an absolute storm-bombing season, guys?
Sure, yeah.
Yes, I asked about Gay. Gay wants Liverpool and only Liverpool.
I would say selling to Palace to allow Palace to then sell Gahey to Liverpool is probably not in our best interest.
That's what I said.
That is also how football does work, right, Jack? Sometimes there's a game of poker going on here as well. Because City aren't stupid. They know we release a Kanji out there. Right. That releases Gay off to Liverpool.
Which great signing, by the way. Kanji to Palace. If that was they were able to pull, he would be great for them.
I think it's a cracking signing.
Yeah, Leverkusen gets him. It's a great deal for
Leverkusen. That's gone quiet. Gundo's gone quiet as well.
Yeah. I saw MLS. That'd be great. Come to Orlando so I can go see you play.
I think Gundo may go later on in the window if there's a decent offer. But right now, if I was a betting man, and I'm not going to keep saying this, I don't think we sign anyone. And I think only Akanji leaves. I think Edison stays. I think Donnarumma will happen. If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say what I said a couple of weeks back. Let's see how much. If Donnarumma keeps telling everyone he only wants Manchester City, let's see then. Let's see if we really want Manchester City. Can we not revisit this in 3-4 months in Jan? Have PSG jumped the gun, taking a goodbye thing?
It's a tough one.
It's a game of chicken right now. Who's gonna buckle first? And no club wants to be the one that caves first.
Edison's, by the way, Edison's out with his family this evening. I don't know if Bones noticed that. He's not exactly on no plane of Turkey right now, guys. He's out with his family.
How do we know that restaurant's not in Turkey? I'm just kidding.
I like Tarek's thinking there. I do like it.
All right, a deal can be done and a player can be on a plane in 10 hours.
We did all this 2 weeks ago. Will he or won't he be in the Wolves squad? Right, he's not in the Wolves squad. He's going. Will he or will he not be in the Brighton squad? He was in the Tottenham squad. Now will he or won't be in the United? I do like it. I do like the optimism. Sorry, my other half was getting changed for bed. No one wants to see that. So, right. Look. Top Cappy restaurant in Istanbul. I like the optimism. Well, the Brazilian outlet has said Eddie doesn't want to go to Turkey and wants to stay.
I saw something today saying that Saudi might.
Yeah,
come
they
back
just said
inform.
Saudi Arabia came in. Fabrizio shut that down. So I don't know.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah,
and you mean Al Nassr? Yeah, they came in and that got shot down in 30 seconds. That was. I've never seen Fabrizio tweet so quick. He was like, "Nope, that's not happening."
That's why I said somebody's feeding him, and probably Viana, because it's the only real difference, right? So it's like somebody is feeding him this information that weren't feeding him before.
See, Darcy, I'd rather City take the hit on the cost of the goalkeepers to get Donnarumma. It's going to be interesting. I think we'll know more. I'm going to be honest. I think we get to Friday and nothing's moving. I think that's it. Because I don't think, and nothing's going to move on match weekend. I've said this, but you know how Pep is on match weekend. Everything goes into lockdown of the game. Just focus on the game. The next thing is Edison in the squad for Brighton? That's going to be the next thing. Because if he's in the squad for Brighton, well, we've only got Monday to sort a deal out. And you've only got till 7 p.m.
I gotta admit, I wake up because we're 5 hours behind you all over in England. So I wake up every morning and I'm expecting to see like what news is gonna be on the timeline because I'm expecting something to have happened in that time or something to have been announced. And most days I wake up and it's like, nothing. So, maybe it holds out this way for the rest of the week. But, I guess to a certain extent, I was expecting something to happen. But
Right, do you think it'll be where, Dash? In Brighton or in Turkey? All right, I'll go around. Tariq.
But Tariq, before you go more in, I was just going to say, I lost my train of thought. Dang.
Was it about waking up every morning and waiting?
Yes, I was going to say,
something was going to happen.
Usually our news has been actually dropping later recently.
Yes,
like the Kanji news just happened, right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
They all get them ready for the newspapers in the morning, all the clicks ready.
Because that was the whole Rodrigo thing. It was like nighttime here. It was like, oh, this was going to be tomorrow's headlines. It's like
over there, you look at the BBC, something called what they call the BBC gossip column, and it updates at 11:30 at night. That's because all the online, so all your newspapers, your broadsheets, your red tabloids, they all update at 11:30 at night, ready for the morning.
That's interesting. So we should do like reactions to all the news. It's only like 6 o'clock for us. You guys are all asleep. It's just just getting off work, and we have all the videos ready for you guys.
Now Shades of Blue gossip column.
There you go. It's like you got everything ready. As soon as you wake up in the morning, come hit us up. There you go. No.
So yeah, no, it is what it is. But final thoughts, gentlemen. Whatever you want. Whenever you want to talk about final thoughts.
There was a lovely rumor on Twitter today of the City going in for Trent, which I thought was hilarious. I'd be all for it if it was real, but I have zero confidence in that one happening. But
would you be for it? Truly? Because I mean, we always talk about how he can't defend.
Don't care. He'd be great. He would be fantastic. Right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
He would be amazing for us. Not that it would ever happen, but
yeah.
I don't think
it's all for it.
But I would say that's the closest thing to a Pep Guardiola right back that he wants. Profile.
Absolutely.
This is why I don't think, when people say cushion off at right back, I get it from a defensive standpoint. Mm-hmm. I don't think Pep wants a defensive right back.
But we didn't think Pep wanted a keeper that couldn't play with his feet either.
That is true.
But we bought Nora, and he's about as defensive as I am in the old left back spot.
Martin, do you remember you said Livermento doesn't go forward? Did that Liverpool game change your mind? Did that Liverpool game change your mind? Because you didn't see him at under 21s.
No.
I would agree he doesn't go forward.
He was at fault for the goal, lad.
Martin, he had to go to the dummy run. You can't leave a guy through the middle.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of the Newcastle fans were blaming him for the goal.
I think that was just an exceptional play by.
He played left back.
Yeah, he can play both sides.
Silverslide.
So why left back?
He can play Martin. He can play both sides. He's only playing there because Hall's injured.
I'm not saying don't buy Livermento, but we're not going to buy him.
I know that. I'm just saying.
I love Livermento. Listen, I would drive to Newcastle now, put him in the boot of my car and drive him back down here. And I'd just deposit 80 million quid. The problem is Newcastle right now, I don't want to get anywhere near that club right now. With due respect to them, they've got enough going on emotionally than try and get another one of their top players out. Could you imagine? You've seen the discourse between Liverpool and you want to go and start getting involved in that?
Do we think that Isak goes or do we think he stays?
I think he stays.
That might be deadline day.
I think it ends up in.
I think he goes.
They just got rejected by Wolves, by the way.
No, I'm not having that.
Larson?
I am a snooping. No, I'm not having this Jed Spence loving that he's going in right now.
Yo, Miami.
And everyone's loving him.
I don't know if Miami Snoopy was on earlier when all of the U disrespect was going on, but that is another fan of the U student, former student. So I appreciate you being on, brother.
Fun. I will say on Jed Spence, I'm not a Jed Spence guy, but if you look at similar players to Livramento, Jed Spence is third on the list. So, not
Do you
that
know
I
one
think
thing
he's
with Jed
as
Spence?
good, but he's there.
People doing the Jed Spence the same way we did Douglas Luiz for the number 6 role in January. They're just throwing a body now for a body.
That's a great analogy.
In 12 months' time, you will be selling Jed Spence again with somebody else, promise you.
Yeah, he's not.
And that's my worry. I don't just want to buy someone for the sake of filling a warm bed.
Which would be the definition of a panic buy, right? Do we agree on that?
Yes. I think Jed Spence will do a job, but he's literally the panic buy of it. 3 days before the window closes, and let's go and get Tottenham's. And after you've just done Tottenham dirty over Savinio, you ain't getting Jed Spence.
Oh, God. Could you imagine?
No chance.
Savinho would have to be involved in some way. We'd have to be sending him, getting, Jed Spence plus some money, because otherwise there would be no incentive for them to do business with us. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if this doesn't go down, we're never doing business with them.
Daniel Levy's never getting a job at City, and no one at City's ever getting a job at Tottenham. Those two are just never going to adorn each other's doors ever again after this. I see some City fans going, that'll teach you, Levy. I'm like, this has become tit for tat between the two clubs and boardrooms here.
Predictions for Brighton, guys? Because we'll meet up after.
I'll give you mine tomorrow. Ooh.
Right, Jet?
I mean, if I started, I will say I'm hopeful that we see a return of Gavardio to the center back position. I'm hopeful that Aït-Nouri is all right and able to play. I'm hopeful we see Phil Foden in the starting lineup and maybe Rodri. I don't know. Probably not, but I would like that, of course. And assuming we get Gavardio back, I feel confident that we're all right. We win the game and people can relax a bit.
Did you give a score or no?
2-0. Look at that.
Yeah, I think when we did this, when we recorded the other night, I think I said 2-0. Actually, I might have said 2-1 because, there's always the shaky goal potentially. So we'll see. But yeah, I think we win. And like you said, we kind of just quiet the crowd, quiet all the noise around the club at the moment. And then kind of go into I think we go into the break after this, right? Is that it?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks
so
off.
We kind of go into the break and just chill. So yeah,
3 games in and we're already in a break.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
The worst.
What about you, Ed?
Oh, man. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think they're going to try to press us, but I don't think they have the type of players Tottenham have in the midfield. I mean, they have Baleba, but the other guys aren't like that. Like a Polina, like a Bentancur. But the press is going to be on us, man. We're going to have to handle it better than we did at home. I got this being 2-1.
They have struggled so far as well. Draw and a loss. So maybe some problems. I don't know.
Okay. I think we'll win. Even though I'm going down there, people will worry. I do think we'll win. And I think Rodri will play, Foden will play, and Gavardio will play. I'm going to shut one out.
You think they'll play from the start or just come on?
Well, is that because you know something, Martin, or because
I'm also going to predict I think Edison will play.
Nah, he's not playing, man.
I think that's tough on Trafford because
I totally agree with you.
Because I think it will appear that you made a mistake, so we're putting you on the bench. Even if we always intended for Ederson to be the number one, I feel like you have to just ride Trafford until the break, and then after the break, you can switch it up. But it just feels a little.
Do you not worry Ederson going back in for United or going back in for United and Arsenal? If Ederson's going to be his number one this year, just do it, because I don't think there's ever going to be a good time to take Trafford out.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think you're going to break Ederson
as is, but
I think you're going to break Trafford no matter what happens in this situation.
That's fair. Yeah,
I think Saturday showed that, because I think Trafford looked like a kid with the world of weight on his shoulders. Sadly,
I know we talked about Trafford already, but Pep can do some sort of, I don't like to say damage control, but damage control with Trafford in saying that when we play this way, this happens occasionally. It's not a you thing personally. Ederson has done this exact same thing against Spurs, nonetheless, where when we're playing against the press and you are to hit the guy who's dropping deep, and then he's going to spray to whatever side on a first touch pass to, that's how we break the press. Occasionally, this is going to happen. And I think at least Pep's take on it is, yes, we will have mistakes this way, but on the whole, we will create more chances, and it's on the whole season worth it to do that. So Pep can kind of be the voice of reason in that this is always going to happen playing this way. I'm not taking you out of this game as punishment for making that error, because that's what I expect you to do, is make these tough passes, which is another discussion. Should we be doing that or not? But I think that is so ingrained in the way they play, where press happens, you're hitting this guy in the middle who's first time touch spraying out whatever side to break the press. And that's up for debate. Should we change that tactic? But I think that's where you take the, at least that's how Pep can cool it down a bit with the, this is what I expect of you. I don't know.
I think it's going to be a very intriguing few days. One last thing. Do we think the double Peps and Colo are working? What are the topics tomorrow night and Thursday night chat?
Good topic, yeah.
Because I will say it. No, I don't want Lilo back. Don't be daft. What I'm saying is, I think Reinders having too much. Pep Lind is having too much of a say in this at the moment.
It's a good question.
That's where
Martin wants that control. Martin wants that control back, man. Martin wants that.
No, I want control with speed. I want a balance.
He wants his cake and he wants to eat it too.
I want a balance. I don't think we suit out and out basketball, football. Don't think our players suit it.
Yeah, I think we've seen both sides of the spectrum in the last 12 months, right?
Yeah. Anyway, right, we're going to end it there. Before we all leave, big up to Tarek. Where can they all find you, mate?
Appreciate you having me on, man. You guys can find me. I record with my show bros at Shades of Blue Network. We do the traditional audio podcast. We put that video out as well. And then we do a live show on Thursdays where we bring in a guest, or bring in 3 guests typically, kind of like a late night show would be on TV here in the States. We bring on 3 guests, talk to them, and then kind of react or whatever. So would love for anyone and everyone to check us out, but definitely appreciate being on here with you guys. So appreciate it.
Have you had any intriguing guests, something like
that? So last week was our first week back. We had we typically will have, and so our Thursday night live show is really a mixture of anybody in the footy content creator space. So we've had United fans, we've had Arsenal fans. We typically have at least one City fan on. So this past week we had a City fan from Florida, who is a Florida Gator fan, and she's a big Atlanta Falcons and the NFL fan, and so we kind of talked all of that. And then we had some people that we've known for a little while that have come on for a while, Arsenal fans and things of that nature. So yeah, we typically will bring people on. We have a recorded episode, not our live stream, but a recorded episode that two of my show bros did actually this morning. That's a pretty big get for us. Really excited about it. So that'll come out here soon on Patreon and stuff like that. But it's a pretty big name in the city space. We talk. We are self-proclaimed, right? Self-proclaimed, the most comprehensive city podcast. And we say that because we talk both the men and the women. And so if you watch with us, then you'll see us talking men. We'll talk women in each episode. There's a couple other podcasts that have come out of what we do. And so if you do check it out live or whatever, go to the YouTube channel, you'll see a little bit of everything. But yeah, we started out city, and that's our primary thing. So yeah.
Good man. Right, Jack, where can they all find you, mate?
Yeah, I have my own YouTube channel. It's just Ryjack. I talk city, obviously. I have socials, so Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can find all of that in my channel description on my page. So going for 500 subs, very close to that. I've been doing it less than a year now, so I am still relatively new. Very appreciative to be on the show, as always. And anybody I see in the chat, love interacting with the chat. We do watch-alongs for every weekend game. So videos, live streams, all that sort of regular, good Man City content. That's what I do. And I'll probably be in a space later with Martin if he's doing that. So I'm in those most of the time as well,
just
listening.
signing it up now.
So you can check me out. It's Ryjack everywhere.
There you go. Ed, and they know where they can all find you, mate.
Yeah, big up the chat, big up the panel. Always good conversations. Martin, I don't know if I can be in spaces. I told Spartacus, me and him going over Donnarumma, man. I said I'll see him Monday, 7 p.m.
You get in the space, you stop lying. Right. Anyway. Again, for anyone who did notice, apologies for earlier on in the South Stand. It's been sorted out. Me and Daps have spoken. We are all fine. Everything is sorted. The stream has gone. Won't be out there. It was what it was. We've both spoken. Both said what we needed to do. And yeah, everything is sorted now. I will be on South Stand in the morning. People don't know and do not need to know what happened. It was what it was. Anyway, big up to everyone. Everyone's in the chat. In the description are all these links. Danny and Shake hopefully join us. Beta Games, he'll be back as well next week. But loving this. Give it a like on the way out. Go and show them a lot of love. We'll see you all in about 20-30 minutes over on the space. And as always, up the Blues. And don't forget, tomorrow, 9 p.m, Thursday night chat is back. Transfer window, final lap. And plus, we'll also talk about Brighton. That is tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. UK time. Come and show it a lot of love. Should be a great, great show. Ozzy, Rich, me, Pat, maybe Alan. See if Alan's back in. All back tomorrow at 9 p.m. But have a great evening, all. Take care. Love you all. And as always, up the Blues. Take care.